I'm Matthew Stuckey here from Verity Baptist Church Manila and Verity Baptist Church Pampanga with a quick missionary update. And this past week we had a total of 70 salvations. It was an awesome week. It really started off, it looked like it was going to be a really rough week. Obviously, we just had the flood in the last couple weeks, and that's really kind of wiped out an area where we've been getting a lot of salvations, where a lot of people were out and about, kind of a public park. And so anyways, on Wednesday we had our soul winning before church, and we ended up getting one salvation, which is okay. It's mainly door to door, or it's always pretty much door to door on Wednesdays before church. And so we had one salvation, and then on Thursday I had a few salvations, and then on Saturday we were in Pampanga. And in Pampanga, we ended up having 6 salvations between 10 soul winners, which is fine, but there's definitely weeks we have a lot more than 6 salvations. And we're just hitting every door in Pampanga, just like we're trying to hit every door around this area as well here in Metro Manila. And so I was thinking, oh man, we might end up having really low results because I knew that we didn't have the public park to go to get a lot of salvations. And we could that's an area we've been going on both Saturdays and Sundays. We've been trying to send a group there, getting a lot. So I was thinking, oh man, we're going to get like 35, 40 salvations or something. Then all of a sudden the reports came in on Saturday from people that were doing soul winning in other locations. And we had a group that went in Muntinlupa area, which I didn't even know they were going soul winning. We had several people from our church, and they had 8 salvations. Then, we had our group in Makati, around the Makati area. Sometimes they go other places. But they had 7 salvations, which is good. And then our group in Pasig by our church, they ended up having 12 salvations, which was more than I expected. So we had 20 soul winners, 33 salvations. I was thinking, oh man, it didn't turn out that bad. Then we had several groups that we sent out toward what we call Gulay Street, or gulay is the word for vegetable. And it's just because all the streets are named after a vegetable, like ampalaya, mais, various different ones. And so anyways, we sent them there, and they had good results and everything. And when we finally tallied it up between the soul winning done during the week that people did, also in addition to that, we had 70 salvations. So that's really good. If this was before this whole pandemic started, it would be kind of light results. But our results have definitely been getting better the last couple months. Things are definitely opening up. We have more people able to go soul winning. More people are out and about. People are less afraid, because when this whole thing started, people were very afraid to even talk to us. So I look forward to the day. Hopefully we can get back to 100 salvations at some point. If our Saturday soul winning, if we could really go to the public parks where we're getting a lot saved every Saturday, then we could hit that. But for now, we're definitely satisfied with this. It's a busy week, though. I've had to go down to the building many times recently to try to get some stuff fixed, just minor problems here and there. And you kind of push things aside until it comes to when big events are taking place. And we have our 2-year anniversary this Sunday. And so if you're anywhere near the area, please come out for it. We're going to have food, games, fellowship. We're going to have a great time. And it's been a crazy year, but even with this crazy year, we still, just in 2020 alone, just for our Metro Manila church, have passed 3,000 salvations. Plus, of course, there's a month and a half at the end of 2019 for our 12-month period of our church. So, things are still going great. Obviously, a lot of that's, door-to-door soul winning. It's not as good as we had a year ago, but obviously it's much more difficult. And, we're rewarded for the work we do. And so there's churches that are operating in places that are less receptive than here in the Philippines. And you know what? They're getting, lots of people saved, but maybe not quite as many. But if they're doing more work, they're rewarded for the work they do. So as a church here, obviously it's kind of the life of luxury when you can get so many people saved. So now it's a little bit more difficult, but it's still very receptive, and we can be thankful for that. So anyways, just for the sermons I preached, Revelation 21b, I preached on New Jerusalem, just kind of covered some thoughts with the chapter. And then on Sunday, I continued the series on fundamental family tips on marriage. It wasn't really my intention, but I'm pretty sure I had more laughs in that sermon than any sermon I've ever preached. The introductory sermon the week before was a really, really tough sermon, as I talked about gender roles, clothing standards, and a lot of things that could really offend people. But the rest of the series is more just, it's not really going to be super offensive, just practical tips. And so then the other sermon I preached was Where Are the Nine, where I talked about how Jesus healed 10 lepers and only one came back to give him thanks. And he says, where are the 9? And when we go soul winning, and if you read the story carefully, They got healed as they're on the way toward the priest. They didn't get healed immediately. And so they took by faith that when they went, they would get healed. But even though they were healed by Jesus, only one actually came back to give him thanks. And I think it's a story for us as soul winners to take away, where basically, we get a lot of people saved, but few actually come back to give thanks. And gave many reasons, like some people are too selfish, some are too shy, some are scared of persecution, some are slothful, and some are just kind of simple or simple-minded to the fact of the importance of church and the difference between our church and other churches. And so the idea for the sermon, I actually, Pastor Stephen Anderson preached a sermon a long time ago. I don't even know how long ago, 10 years, 12 years ago or so. It's one of those sermons that just kind of stuck in my head. And it's definitely an encouraging sermon for soul winners. And I definitely think that's the main point of the story, to encourage us as soul winners that, hey, a lot of people get saved, we might never see them again, but that doesn't mean they didn't get saved. Many people get saved, and they don't have to come to church to prove they're saved. They don't have to make any changes. Truth is, many people believe on Jesus, but they just are never going to make changes in their lives. But praise the Lord for everyone we get saved like that. So anyways, just be in prayer for our church for our anniversary this coming Sunday. We are hoping to have some new visitors. We're hoping to have some people be able to return and have a big attendance. We're excited for it though, and things can finally settle down after this, because this has probably been the busiest month I've had since I've been in the Philippines. Just exhausted day in and day out, but praise the Lord for all the work that's being done. Anyways, thank you and God bless.